wipe your whiskers. Secret Eaters is back. With a quarter of the UK now clinically obese, we hold the crown as the heavyweight champions of Europe.
15 stone 2. 17.5 stone.
5.5 stone heavier than I want to be.
Just how many of us are in denial about what we really eat?
I'm going wrong somewhere and I just don't know where.
I eat healthy things. I don't understand why I've got an 8 stone. It's literally like carrying a human being on my back.
Our PIs and covert cameras have been catching the nation scoffing everywhere. And I mean everywhere.
I've got a tracker on Tracy's car. Even if we lose her in traffic, we can find out where she is.
And when you see what we've uncovered,
They're on the move.
the truth will really knock you out. Oh yes, in the Secret Eaters incident room, we'll be plating up the truth and nothing but.
Surprise! Hello, ladies.
Because if you really want to lose weight, you need to know how you're putting it on.
I just want to die now.
Oh, please don't put it in your mouth. Please don't put it in your mouth.
It's going in.
Are we hiding the true extent of our mindless eating from our loved ones and ourselves?
You did that.
This is Secret Eaters.
I've got to take you on the chin, haven't I?
Really? Which one now?
Oh, very nice.
I'm on my way to Barnstaple in Devon to meet 3 people whose family fortunes have increased by more than just a few pounds.
When you think about what you've inherited from your family, you'd like to think it's your amazing good looks and your incredible brains. But then you look in the mirror and you realise you've got your mother's muffin top and your dad's double chin.
And for the Smales, this is one family affair in need of attention. 56-year-old Sue, her 34-year-old son Glyn, and his wife Louise, 36, all share the Smale family trait of piling on the pounds, and none of them know why. Factory night shift manager Glyn has battled with his weight for over 10 years.
All of the men in the Smale family are renowned for being big. I've never been small and thin, but I only really started putting on the weight once I left school.
Glyn's been making a sporting effort to shift his post-adolescent pounds.
I don't understand why I am as size I am. I've been experimenting on eating different types of food, planning our meals, reducing our portion sizes, cycling to work a couple of times a week. It's frustrating because I don't know why I'm not losing any weight.
Glyn and Lou have been married for 2 years, and you could say it was love at first bite.
He started coming up to the canteen where I worked in the factory and used to come up and have his bacon roll every morning.
And since taking her wedding vows, Louise is finding that hubby Glyn has even more to have and to hold on to.
In the last year, I haven't really changed my diet and I've put on just about a stone and I don't understand why. We eat healthily. It is quite unfair that we put a lot of effort in between me and Glyn, but nothing's really happening to get rid of all the love handles.
Glyn's mum, Sue, makes regular weekend visits to the Smale household from her home in Wales, where she works as a theatre receptionist.
Any preference on where you would like to sit?
And it's here the mystery of her fluctuating dress size has taken centre stage.
I was a size 22, 24, and I went down to a size 16, but it started creeping up now. Size 18s are tight.
And just like the others, Sue can't work out why her extra weight won't budge.
I don't think the food I'm eating is unhealthy. I'm confused about why the weight is coming back on.
With the Smale family tree mysteriously creaking under its own weight, I want to help them get to the root of the problem.
Hello! How are you? Well, let's talk a little bit about what you're eating then.
I work night shifts, so I have a break at 2 o'clock in the morning. I have a little snack then. Then I come home, have some toast at 6 o'clock when I finish work.
Yeah.
Then go to bed, wake up, and we have an evening meal together.
So what do you eat during the day? Because you are a chef, are you not, within the local college?
I don't have any breakfast before I go to work, never have done. Lunchtime, I usually try and stop and have like a bowl of fruit or a bowl of cereal, and then I come home, and that's when we have our cooked meal.
From what you're telling me, you're only really having one meal a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And an evening meal for Glyn and Lou is a real labour of love.
We always usually plan the week out, decide what we're having through the week and stick to it.
We don't have many packet foods or fast convenience food.
Fish dish. I don't feel we overeat, so I don't understand why our weight's going up.
Sue, what about you then? I mean, what would you say your weight's like at the moment?
I don't do it so much by weight, I do it by clothes size, and I'm now up to an 18, bordering 20.
What do you tend to eat during the day?
Maybe soup and some bread. And then in the evening, I've either got meetings or I'm rushing somewhere.
It just doesn't sound like you're eating, Sue.
And when I do come home from the meetings at 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes I don't feel like eating then.
But would that explain why you are your current weight?
No.
But there's another reason why this family are determined to lose weight.
My dad died when he was 42.
Quite young.
Yeah, Dad died of a heart attack. I'm now 34, so Louise and I are trying for children, and I don't want to have the same problem of losing my life too soon without seeing my children grow up.
And was your dad a big fella?
Yes. Yeah.
And did that contribute?
It wouldn't have helped.
Exactly. So you want to give yourself the best chance, and obviously you're going to be trying for babies.
Yeah.
So you want to be a fit, healthy dad.
Yes.
And to be there for your kids. So that's your motivation.
Yes, it is, yeah.
If I'm to help this family out, I need to know exactly what they weigh. So it's time for the Smales to hit the scales.
Sue, come on, you're the oldest. You're 15 stone 2. On your pop, then. You are almost bang on 12 stone. Glyn.
Here we go.
You are bang on 22 stone.
I'm not surprised because it's kind of become second nature to be that weight.
Glyn, Louise and Sue have agreed to let us monitor every mouthful for 5 days. So we've put cameras in the kitchen and the lounge to get a true picture of what they really eat.
Please eat as you normally would, because in order for us to help you, we need to be able to see what you're eating. Is it a deal?
Yes.
It's a deal.
Don't change.
With the family on board, we asked them to fill in individual food diaries over the course of a normal week to give us an idea of what they think they eat. Glyn recorded eating just over 2,500 calories, the average intake for a man, including healthy home-cooked meals and light healthy snacks. Louise's food diary states she survives on coffee in the mornings until lunchtime when she has a meagre bowl of cereal. Sue claims she starts her day with wheat breakfast cereal, sticks to fruit and soup for lunch, bringing her daily calorie intake to under 2,000 calories. The cameras are rolling, but will our surveillance tally up with their diaries, or will we discover discrepancies between what they believe they eat and what they actually eat?
Oh, I don't believe it. They've hit the wine already. Look at it with that. I mean, we've literally only just left and they've already cracked it open, haven't they?
And the surveillance doesn't stop when the Smales take flight from the family nest. We've got our very own Hawkeyes in the shape of 2 of the UK's top private investigators, Cameron Gowlett and Duncan Mee.
Sue is on the move.
Our dynamic duo will be working around the clock,
Yes.
pounding the pavements and peering round corners to make sure if the Smales scoff it, our spies will spot it. And we'll prove once and for all if Glyn, Louise and Sue are in fact secret eaters.
Are you ready?
Yeah, where are you?
It's Saturday evening and the Smales family are off for a few birthday drinks at their friend Steve's house. But in our bid to track every snack, PI Cameron's got there first and recruited Steve to help us out with our secret surveillance.
In your opinion, where do you think we should put the camera?
Right on top of the fridge because, as I say, most of us congregate around here and ideal opportunity to stick it up there.
OK.
This secret camera will capture every party trick in the book. All Steve has to do is turn it on as they arrive. Everyone seems a little birthday bashful so far, just a few nachos and a drink or two. An hour later, Glyn is getting fruity with a pint of cider. Sue's toasting birthday boy with some vino. And everything's looking rosé for Louise. All of them have reached the daily recommended consumption of alcohol. But that's OK, it is their friend's birthday after all. But this tipsy trio aren't the only ones we've had under surveillance. If your family is overweight, there's a 40% chance that you will be too. And that's certainly the case for the Smale family from Devon, who have a combined weight of almost 50 stone.
I don't understand why our weight's going up.
So they agreed to round-the-clock surveillance for 5 days so we could monitor every morsel they were munching at home. And 2 top private investigators have been tracking them everywhere. We even secretly recruited friends and colleagues to amass evidence in our bid to crack the case of the Smale family's swelling size. Do they eat more than they realise? It's time to reveal our findings. The Smales now think their time of being watched is over. As far as they're concerned, they're at the central London apartment to meet our dietitian Glyn. But this is not strictly the case, as this is an apartment with a few hidden extras. Sorry, Smale family. We've rigged the entire pad with secret cameras, and with the crew hidden away, in come the oblivious Smales. They still think their weight gain is a mystery, but that's about to change. Because concealed behind our fancy artwork hides our incident room. And it's plastered with hard proof of every single thing they've been secretly scoffing. We are right behind this wall. So as the Smales check the place out, it's time to dish up some home truths.
Come on in, guys. Welcome. Oh, no. This is your incident room. Come and look at your food tables. This is just a mere snapshot of some of the things we caught. This is our surveillance board. Our PIs were watching you 24/7.
Oh, my God.
A few of your friends dobbed you in as well. Now, you guys, we are going to be giving you a big, fat reality check. We know precisely what you have been eating throughout the entire surveillance period, literally 24/7.
For starters, we're going to give the Smales a generous serving of reality, big enough for the whole family to share.
We eat healthily. It is quite unfair that we put a lot of effort in between me and Glyn, but nothing's really happening to get rid of all the love handles.
Now, I think it's fair to say that you 3 enjoy a night out.
Who told you that?
It's Saturday night, and Informer Steve's making the most of his new gadget, recording everyone getting into the party spirit.
Oh, Steve! Bugger.
But the night is still young, and unbeknownst to our trio, Steve has already told our PIs every stop on the Smale Trail tonight.
It's working. You see everything.
And they've already gone ahead and set up a bogus barmaid in the pub, in the restaurant a table cam, and a helpful waitress with a hidden camera to make sure Duncan and Cameron catch everything from starters to nightcaps this evening. It's 8 o'clock, and Glyn, Lou and Sue arrive at the restaurant, oblivious to the fact they're under close surveillance.
Oh, no.
Fresh from their pre-dinner drinks at Steve's house, you'd think they'd be ready to soak up some of that booze. Well, Glyn is going for some fruit, in the form of his 6th pint of cider. Sue, having polished off a large glass of wine and 3 double vodka and cokes before getting here, is now tucking into the rosé. Lou's giving Glyn a run for his money and is on her 6th drink of the night already, a double vodka and coke. And it seems it's given her enough Dutch courage to steal a great big helping of a mate's goat's cheese starter. Glyn's order of belly pork needs some apple sauce, but he can't find any, so he opts for the next best thing, his 7th pint of apple cider. And while Glyn and Lou resist the birthday cake, it's chocks away for Sue, who can't resist a slice. Next, all roads lead to the pub, and our PIs can keep watch from a safe distance.
Oh, yes.
Them outside look watching us.
While Glyn's having his usual, Sue's seeing double with her second double vodka and coke, making this her 7th drink of the night. And Lou's matching her mother-in-law drink for drink. 5 hours into the evening, Glyn's now on to drink number 15. He's still feeling lucky, though. As the night comes to an end, the sozzled Smales slither home.
Hey, sexy lady.
Oh, sexy lady. Ordinary night out for you, Guy? I mean,
that was tame. I would have said that's a tame night for us.
That's a tame night. Let me introduce you to our resident dietitian. Lynn, is it time we had a few sort of alcoholic facts, please?
Let's start off with you, Glyn. Alcohol is the second most calorific nutrient, second after fat. So alcohol is fattening. Glyn, on that night, you got through 3,000 calories just in alcohol. It's the equivalent to 3 kebabs.
Would you eat 3 kebabs?
No. Seeing it like that rings home truer than thinking about it as a pint of cider.
I've got you. So looking at it hits home for you.
Yeah.
Louise, you got through 2,500 calories worth of alcohol. It's the equivalent to 2.5 kebabs.
So what about Sue?
Sue, your alcohol intake was 2,200 calories, equivalent to 2 kebabs. In total, you got through 7.5 kebabs worth of calories in alcohol.
So a little bit of denial going on here with the family as a whole, that the alcohol hasn't really got that much to do with our weight gain.
Although we know alcohol plays a part, we didn't realise, obviously, how big a part.
Now it's time to start dishing out individual helpings of the truth. And this one's got 22 Stone Glyn's name all over it.
I don't understand why, with 1 meal a day, I am as size I am.
Glyn, when we met, you said to me, I really don't think I eat enough to be the weight that I am. Do you still stand by that? I mean, do you have regular meals?
Not very regular, no.
You skip breakfast. It's not really your thing, is it?
No.
It's the morning after that boozy night, and Glyn's got his tool out, getting stuck into a bit of DIY. But it looks like he's been telling us porkies. Because the man who claims not to have breakfast is having what looks like, well, breakfast. In the form of a hangover bacon and sausage sandwich. Well, in Glyn's case, that would be 2. And on each of his supersized sandwiches go 1.5 sausages, 2 rashers of bacon, and a big dollop of ketchup.
Oh, that looks terrible, Glyn.
That is a massive breakfast sandwich. So, Glyn, you're only really eating 1 meal a day?
Yes.
And when you have that meal, is it a normal size?
I'd have said it was quite a big meal.
Quite a big meal? All right, but you're not really eating the rest of the time, are you?
No.
So it's fair enough that you'd have a big plate?
Yeah, I think so.
Shall we see what our surveillance says?
OK.
It's a weekday and back to the daily grind for Glyn. He's woken up at 6 p.m. in the evening. But what's this? Another breakfast, this time a pork casserole. He's now packing some food to take to work. It's all in line with the kind of healthy food he claims to eat in his food diary. But with 2 of everything, it's looking suspiciously like Noah's Ark or another meal. Packed lunch done, it's off to work, but P.I. Cameron's tailing that smale. And he's put a camera inside Glyn's car to cover every angle.
He's just pulling into a petrol station.
Cameron needs to find out if our Glyn's just filling up on diesel or if he's picking up an extra little something for the road.
Cheers. He's bought 2 large cans of energy drink.
Those energy drinks should certainly give him a buzz throughout the night. But those calories are a bit of a downer. 10 hours later, the smale of the species returns home for a bit of crumpet. I don't know about you, Glyn, but I make that 3 meals in a day, not 1.
So, Glyn, you're getting home, ironically, first thing in the morning, aren't you? Because you're doing a night shift. It can be quite difficult, I think, for shift workers. How can it affect them, Lynn, in terms of their weight?
Well, there is a link between shift workers and an increased risk of being overweight, possibly because you're awake more hours and therefore there's more opportunity to eat. Your body clock is going all haywire, so that can have an effect on your appetite hormones. But in a way, you are doing the right thing. So you're waking up, you're having your main meal before you go to work, which is the advice we would give. You're then taking something lighter into work when normally you'd be asleep, and then you'd have something to eat before you go to bed. So you're doing the right things, but it's just changing the types of foods so that you reduce your overall calories.
Do you want to know how many calories are actually in that sarnie you scoffed?
Go on.
I think you need to know, Glyn.
Yeah, go on.
OK, Lynn, fill us in.
There were 1,500 calories in your 2 sausage and bacon sarnies.
Shocking.
What shocked you about it?
You don't appreciate how many calories there are in certain food types.
I've got a bit of a confession to make. Whenever I have a few drinks, it always leads to some serious over-snacking. Do you know what I mean? And if you do, why do we do it? And more importantly, what damage is it really doing to our waistlines?
Well, psychologist Dr. David Lewis has a theory on why boozing is a trigger for overeating. And today he's going to put that theory to the test.
David, always a pleasure to see you in the pub. And, you know, I'm happy to drink with you any time of day or night. But why are we down here?
Well, cheers, Anna, but as you know, there's no such thing as a free drink with me, and it's actually we're going to run an experiment which is going to look at the effects of alcohol, not a huge amount of alcohol, but a moderate amount of alcohol, on your appetite. When you drink alcohol, does it actually make you eat more?
Well, I would say that most people would think that's probably true, that, you know, there's anecdotal evidence to say, oh, yeah, you know, if I have a few glasses of wine, I get the munchies. But is there any real science behind that?
Well, what alcohol seems to do is it operates on a part of the brain which controls your appetite.
Right.
So what it does, it stops you knowing that you've eaten too much. So, you know, this feeling of fullness, it actually stops you registering that. The other reason is probably it's because it makes the food more tasty.
We've invited this group of 15 amateur wine connoisseurs to a tasting event to test Dr. David's corking theory.
Give it a taste.
Half will be given alcoholic wines to taste, totalling about 5 units.
Oh, that's disgusting.
The other half are well aware they're drinking non-alcoholic wine. Guess who got the short straw there?
It smells a bit more like alcoholic than it tastes as well.
Yeah.
Then they'll all be offered the opportunity to tuck into equal quantities of food. Unbeknownst to them, it's not what they're quaffing that we're interested in, it's what they put away at that buffet. With all the food carefully weighed and measured, Dr. David will be able to tell us just how much both groups have eaten. We'll find out later if being under the influence impacts on their overindulgence.
This should be intriguing.
Before you can lose weight, you need to know why you're putting it on in the first place. And the Smale family has been pondering the inflation in their pounds for months.
I don't think the food I'm eating is unhealthy.
And as the reality of their deluded dining is revealed...
That looks terrible, Glyn.
They're finally coming face to face with the big fat truth.
In total, you got through 7.5 kebabs worth of calories in alcohol.
Although we know alcohol plays a part, we didn't realise, obviously, how big a part.
Glyn has already been served a family bucket of reality with our secret filming, but it's now time for wife Louise to step up to the plate.
I don't feel we overeat, so I don't understand why our weight's going up.
Louise, you are a cook by profession, aren't you? Mm-hmm. OK, so you're used to being around food all the time. Do you do the cooking when you get home?
We kind of split it 50-50. Everything we do is kind of homemade.
You make an effort, don't you, to be healthy?
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
It's the second day of surveillance, and Louise is cooking one of her healthy home-cooked meals, a Sunday roast for all the family. Being a chef, Louise takes pride in her cooking, but we've spotted her olive oil is turning her home-cooked meals into more greasy spoon than silver spoon. But our oil baroness doesn't stop at the pork, she gives the stuffing an oil slick all of its own. And the oil levels continue to rise when she peps up her potatoes with a decadent drizzle. And then gives this dish a good soaking. For Louise, grease is the word, and she's creating an oil slick that would make Greenpeace nervous. With a hog roasted, it should be healthy, but with a stock made of oil, it's more crude than food. It's time to get that piggy roast down the Smale family hatch.
Oh my God, I'm stuffed.
2 days later, and well, this chicken and couscous salad is also getting a generous dousing of Lou's favourite ingredient. And our very own Popeye and olive oil are savouring every last drop of this sinfully saturated salad.
Right, can we talk about the olive oil?
I just like the taste of it, and, you know, honestly, I love it on a salad. And, we've just started cooking more and more with it, really, haven't we?
Lynn, shall we have some oil facts?
Over the course of surveillance, I worked out that you got through nearly 2,000 calories just in olive oil, which works out at around about 460 calories a day. If you use that amount of oil on a daily basis over a course of a month, that's the same number of calories as this 1.85 kilograms of butter.
I thought olive oil was good for you.
Olive oil is good for you. It's a source of healthy fats. But fats, no matter where they come from, are still the most calorific nutrient.
Is it starting to make sense?
Yeah, a light bulb moment, definitely.
The olive oil for you?
Yeah.
Wow. OK, how about you, Louise?
Yeah, it's making sense more now.
Louise is an oil tycoon. If you're like her and can't resist sneaking an extra splash or 3 of the Mediterranean on your dinners, remember, when you reach for that bottle, it's 100 calories a tablespoon. And if you're watching your waistline, there are lots of spray oils that mean you eat a fraction of the calories. We've rigged up our Secret Eaters cameras at a birthday party in Manchester, where the guest of honour is a mouth-watering buffet. Which guests will display the best moves in an attempt to pile up a plate of party goodies? Which foods will be the most popular? Will it be the succulent samosas or the puffed-up pastries? And which guest will perform the best party trick tactics and walk away with the biggest plate of party goodies? The party guests are right on cue, getting stuck into the fancy finger food. And everyone has their own special way of navigating their way down Buffet Street.
You get what you want, darling.
One option is to go for it and pile as much on your plate as you possibly can. On goes a mini pork pie, a roast chicken sandwich, another sandwich, a vegetable samosa, not 1 but 2 handfuls of crisps, a ham sandwich and some tortilla chips. Surely there's no room left on that plate. Nope, there's definitely space for a cherry bakewell. The joy of a buffet for many is you're free to just grab your favourites. Fancy a sandwich with those crisps at all? These 4 mini sausage rolls might look small on the plate, but they're big on the calories. And what's the perfect accompaniment for those? Ah, of course, 4 mini eclairs and a few tortillas. For some, it's safer to approach the matter in a group.
I've never tried it, but I'll try one because you'll have to.
There are 120 calories in those cute little macaroons, girls. Pop those corks as the sausage rolls and samosas have been the life and soul of this party. And the poor old salad's left feeling a bit of a Billy No-Mates. Finally, if you're just starting out on the party circuit, pick your favourite and stick to it. But maybe just leave a few for everyone else. With the bitter truth laid out before Glyn and Louise, Sue's next to endure a slice of calorific reality. Our surveillance team went to Sue's native Wales to see if there's any truth to her earlier claim.
I don't think the food I'm eating is unhealthy. I'm confused about why the weight is coming back on.
Sue's eating at first doesn't seem exactly out of control, with wheat cereal to start the day and some fruit in the handbag for later. But at work, it's not long before her first busy appointment of the day. But what business could she have with a bakery? The plot, along with her arteries, thickens with this slice of iced, nice but naughty cake. To balance the calories, supper is a simple and very light bag of chips.
So, do you still stand by this idea that I am too busy to sit down and eat when I'm at work? I'm always on the go.
I sit and eat at my desk. That was my tea. I've got to admit, those chips and that was my tea. I've been there since 9 in the morning and I was there till 10 at night.
So maybe it's the choices that you're making rather than the actual sort of, you know, being on the go. It's the choices of food. Lynn?
You don't have a lot of protein in your lunchtime meal, and protein can help us feel full. So by mixing both your high fibre food, so your high fibre breakfast cereal, with some protein, for example, a healthy sandwich at lunchtime, rather than just your soup and bread, will keep you fuller for longer, so you're less likely to want to snack in between.
OK.
With the family red-faced and busted, it's time for their secret eating to be done and dusted. It's now or never, especially for Glyn, who wants to start a family and is worried about his health.
When we were watching you, you're not making healthy food choices. And I know for you in particular, Glyn, that there is a poignant reason why you want to lose weight.
My father died when he was 42 of a heart attack, so I'm conscious that my age is creeping up towards that, and my health is going to start deteriorating if I don't do anything.
Well, there's nothing like a cold slice of the truth to put things into perspective. And Lynn's here to tell them the difference between what they think they eat and what they actually eat, starting with Sue.
How many calories did Sue say she was taking in a day?
So, according to your food diaries, you thought you were getting through nearly 2,000 calories a day, what the average woman needs. But during surveillance, we saw you getting through 2,500 calories a day. So 500 calories more than the average woman.
I think it'll be easier for us now to go forward as a family and support each other because we're all in the same boat and we all want to come to the same goal at the end of it.
Glyn, from your food diaries, you thought you were getting through around 2,585 calories, so roughly what an average man needs in a day. But during surveillance, we caught you getting through 3,400 calories a day.
The reality of what actually happens in your life it's always easier when you see it from an outside perspective. So, yes, a real eye-opener.
According to your food diaries, Louise, you thought you were getting through around 2,700 calories, so more than the average woman. But during surveillance, we saw you getting through 3,700 calories, more than Glyn. 3,700 calories.
Yeah, that's quite shocking, really. I'd never have thought I'd eat more than Glyn.
I don't think anybody thinks they've eaten more than Glyn.
Definitely shocked about it, because I didn't think I was eating like that at all. I didn't think I was eating enough.
And just finally, Glyn, I have to ask you, are you a secret eater?
I think I am, yes.
Sue, are you a secret eater?
Yes, and a secret drinker.
And Louise, I put it to you that you are a secret eater.
Yep, I think you could be right.
Today is the start of a new you.
Now the secret is out about Glyn, Louise and Sue's eating habits, they've agreed to follow a healthy eating plan. Glyn will aim to eat around 2,300 calories a day, cutting down on those massive portion sizes and curbing the weekend food and drink blowouts. Louise's target daily calorie intake is around 2,000 calories. She needs to cut down on the picking and snacking as well as the booze and swap oil-laden dinners for healthy, substantial suppers. Sue will also need to moderate her regular booze intake and eat balanced meals throughout the day. Just doing that will help her reach her target of around 1,900 calories a day. Hopefully, adopting these simple changes will help this family on the path to a lighter, healthier future. We'll be catching up with them later to find out how they got on. Today, I'm at a wine tasting event set up by Secreteaters psychologist Dr. David Lewis. He's conducting an experiment to test the scientific theory that drinking alcohol is a trigger for overeating. So we invited some budding wine buffs along who think we're observing their nose for plonk, when in fact we're only interested in what they tuck into afterwards. Half were given alcoholic wines to taste, while the other half were knowingly given wines containing no alcohol at all. Afterwards, both groups are offered the same buffet food. David and I are on spy cam in another room. A good helping of rice there. A bit more. Don't want to go hungry now. They may be newbie wine buffs, but they know good grub when they see it.
That's really nice.
And while the boozers chow down, the non-boozers fill up their plates. Hungry work, this wine tasting. They may be sober, but they're still putting in a good effort at the buffet. Back in the booze room. Anyone for seconds?
Get them all away.
As everyone finishes up with a brownie, Dr. David and his team roll up their sleeves and get stuck into working out exactly how much everyone's eaten. The leftovers have been measured. It's time to reveal the truth. But will it be a sobering result for the drinkers?
Thank you very much indeed for taking part in our shoot today about wine tasting. We weren't remotely interested at all in the wine that you were drinking or your thoughts about it. We were actually interested in what you ate. You have been taking part in a show called Secret Eaters. Let me introduce you to Dr. David Lewis, who is our esteemed psychologist. David, can you just explain to the group what we've been testing today, please?
Yeah, well, we've been looking at a theory which says that when you drink alcohol, you actually eat more. And the reason for this is the alcohol actually suppresses part of your brain which tells you when you're full. So where normally you say, well, I think I've had enough, because this part of the brain is shut off in a sense, you tend to eat more.
So the team that had the alcohol compared to the team that didn't have the alcohol, you, in fact, ate a lot more than this team.
Yes,
David.
we've represented the calories you ate with these chips. So you ate, the group, on an average, each one of you ate 1,284 calories because you'd had some alcohol which stimulated, well, rather slowed down your ability to know when you'd had enough. You, on the other hand, were much more modest. You only ate 946 calories. So this group ate 36% more, which is just a good indication, really, of how when you've had a few to drink, not only are you more likely to eat more, your self-control tends to be less strong, and therefore you're much more likely to overeat.
Actually, if three of us went up for seconds.
I would definitely bear that in mind next time I'm at a dinner party and there's lots of food on the table and there's lots of wine.
So, David, a really good result today.
Yes, a very spectacular result. I think it pinpoints the fact that alcohol has a direct effect on how much you're going to eat. So next time you're going to have alcohol, be aware that it's likely to lead you to overeat.
So basically, think, be sensible.
Think when you drink.
Seven weeks ago, married couple Glyn and Louise, along with Glyn's mum Sue, were mystified about their ever-increasing waistbands.
I don't think the food I'm eating is unhealthy.
I don't understand why, with one meal a day, I am as size I am.
I don't feel we overeat.
But now that Glyn and Louise want to start a family, the time has come to face up to their secret eating.
I want to be able to run after the kids when they're running off.
So we put them under round-the-clock surveillance and had two top private investigators following them everywhere.
He's bought 2 large cans of energy drink.
And then revealed the true extent of their secret eating in our incident room.
This is just a mere snapshot of some of the things we caught.
It's now time to see if they've got their secret scoffing under control.
It was a bit of a wake-up call. One of the things that became apparent from the footage that we saw was sitting in front of the telly, on the sofa. So we've now changed that. We now sit at the dinner table. You are concentrating literally on your food, not on anything else.
Olive oil was taking a back seat in the shelf and the one cow spray's come to the front of the shelf.
I'm much more aware now of what I'm eating. I plan for my lunch, which before I wouldn't. I would just look in the cupboard, see what was there and take that into work.
Now I'm more aware that if I have a glass of wine, I've put that in on my daily allowance, so I know, you know, I've got it covered within my calories I'm allowed for the day.
The weigh-in is still to come, but remember, it's not just Glyn, Louise and Sue we've been spying on. As the song goes, working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. All spreadsheets and no play. So to cheer up these hard-working office staff, we're starting a revolution and letting them eat cake. 4 o'clock is cake o'clock, and we've set up our hidden cameras to find out how many of our sales team will rise to the occasion and get a slice of the action. First up is a man who's a bit glazed and confused. For goodness sake, just take it.
I really want that, but I'm not hungry for it, but I'm going to have to take it.
Well, it would be rude not to.
We work hard, man. We deserve it.
Yes, remember, in sales, the winner bakes it all. Oh, look, the girl who doesn't want cake is back. And she still doesn't want it. Oh, no, looks like she's managed to get over it. Look at this jammy work dodger. Not 1, not 2, but 3 donuts coming in with a combined calorie count of around 750. 64% of office workers who gain weight blame their colleagues for bringing in treats. Sounds like they're just gluttons for punishment. Seven weeks on, Glyn, Louise and Mum Sue have been following a healthy eating plan set out by our dietitian Lynn after facing the reality of their secret eating.
There were 1,500 calories in your 2 sausage and bacon sarnies.
Shocking.
If they've stuck to it, they should have lost weight. First to step on the scales is Sue, who 12 weeks ago weighed in at 15 stone 2.
OK.
Wow!
14 stone 5. Well done.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Well done, you.
Will Louise be as successful? She started out at 12 stone.
Oh, wow. 11 stone 2.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Oh, well done, Lou.
Louise has lost almost a stone in weight.
You lost more than me, madam.
But lastly, Glyn, who weighed the most at a hefty 22 stone, is hoping to do just as well.
It's 20.6. So you've lost 1 stone.
£8.
£8, yeah. Wow.
Over a stone and a half.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well done. Woo-hoo!
With Glyn's stone and a half, the family between them have managed a staggering combined drop in weight of 3 stone and 2 pounds.
When we do become parents, we'll be more active and be able to run around and be there for our children.
Before I was obviously worried about my dad because he died when he was 42 of a heart attack and I'm approaching that age fairly rapidly, so I was very concerned. But now I'm on the right track with the weight loss to make that less likely in the future.
I was a secret eater and a secret drinker, but no, I'm not.
Well done, everybody.
Cheers.